Hello everyone, thank you for your patience. This is the first stream, so we've actually just been doing some technical support to try to get everything sorted out for people who are doing it for the first time. So thank you for bearing with us, and yeah, thank you and welcome to the first Codeplant live stream. So there's got a couple people joining us now online, and if you are looking at the same screen that I'm about to show here, you'll see this is the interface that we're going to be working with here in Codeplant. On your side, that's where I'm showing up live, but we're going to just talk through this set of tools that we're going to be using for our different lessons. Today's lesson is going to be, as it says on the title, commands and arguments. So we're going to be talking about that as it relates to programming. And so the whole Codeplant course is going to be about how to program, but not just the ins and outs, but also how to do fun things with programming, like play games, how to make games. And so I'm excited to jump in. In fact, this tool set that I'm using here, I actually made this set of tools. So when we use it together, we might run into some issues, we might run into some bugs. Some of you might have already hit some of those bugs, but just give us feedback afterwards and we'll try to clean that up and make everything right. But yeah, welcome. If you notice here on your interface, on the left-hand side, these tabs are all locked, and that was on purpose. So there's nothing broken. It's just I was locking them out until we unlocked them. And so I'll show you how to do that now. We're going to get started by learning our first command. So on the right-hand side here, that you see the blinking cursor, right? That's going to be where we're going to enter in our command. So if you're on the chat tab, I want you to go back to the part that looks just like this. And if you go there and just type in the word commands, just like that, and you're going to see a bunch of commands come up. If you are logged into the chat and you have a question, you're welcome to post it there in the chat. And yeah, so the first thing we're going to do is just test out a few commands. The first command I'm going to show you is going to unlock all those other tabs up at the top, and so you can start to see more of what's happening. So the first command we're going to do is we're going to learn help. If you type in the word help and hit enter, you will see here that this command says something interesting. It says the other word that we're going to learn today. It says you need to include an argument with your command. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so we don't know what an argument is, but we're going to get to that in a minute. But let's try one of the commands maybe. Let's say who am I? So try that. Type in who am I? And it should give you back your name. You should see your name that was signed up when you got your Codeplant email. And if that's the case, then you should also be able to go over onto this side and change the tabs. Because we've got a couple different tabs that we can access. So the first one is output. And a lot of the code that we write in our course will actually output here. And we'll get to see what the code does here. And we'll end up being as good as this little kitty who's a supercomputer programmer. And then the next one up at the top is history. And this is a place where you're going to be able to come and see all of the previous streams that have come live. So there's a couple here you can watch afterwards. I'm just giving you another tour of here and how to access Codeplant. You can just load up those streams anytime. Then we have some exercises, and we're going to look at some of these exercises today in this stream as we learn some commands and arguments. And then the final one is the one you probably already tried to click on, and that's games. And in order to complete and unlock games, there's a bit of a challenge here. So I'm going to read the challenge, and then I'm going to go on to another little section, because I think maybe we can solve this challenge together while we're on this stream, and maybe by the end of it, all of us will have unlocked the Games tab to play anytime we want to come back to Codeplant. So let's read this and see code. Let's see, command challenge. Here is how to unlock the game. use the unlock command in the terminal with one argument. That argument is the password. The password is the last name of the man who invented the first computer. Good luck. Okay, well, I guess to do this, we have to know a little bit about what arguments are and what commands are in order to unlock these games. So I'm gonna give you a hint. I know in programming from my experience that a command is something that I type into the computer. We already typed in our first one, commands. But an argument is something I type in after my command. So let's look at this one we said earlier, help. If I type in help, let me go to show you the whole screen there. If I type in help, and by itself, you'll get the same on your side. It'll say you need to include an argument with your command. So on that, an argument is just another word after. So what if we just space and say, who am I? The one we typed earlier. Whoops, I spelled it wrong. You're going to see that quite a bit as you type more and more. So help, who am I? This command shows who the current user is and unlocks the tabs on the left. All right. I'm hoping everybody has already got that and seen that already and gotten through there. So I'm going to type commands again. And on this list of commands, you'll see a whole bunch of things that we can start to type help. So let me just clear, and I'm going to type commands again so you can see the list. And I'm going to type help. And I'm just going to start looking at some of these commands and see what they do. So if I say the next one, say hi. So my command is help and my argument is say hi. This command will say hi to the rest of the group. This command does not need any arguments. Okay, well, let me try that. Say hi. Are you guys getting a message on your screen? If you are, then type say hi on your side. Ruben says hi. Awesome. Awesome. I'm getting lots of messages on my side. That might be a bug that we need to fix, but at least I can see the message coming through from Ruben. Is anybody else out there? Leah says hi. Awesome. Awesome. Does anybody else say hi? Okay. Well, how about this? If you're still watching, Graham, all right. Graham says hi. Fantastic. I'm also going to show you another command. If I clear, and if I now show my commands again, the next command after say hi is say. So let me try help say. This command will send a message to the group with one argument. Add your message. Oh, Braden says hi. Awesome. Add your message as the argument. Okay, so I can then say, hello, Codeplant. And you guys should all get a message now that says, hello, Codeplant, and possibly many, many messages because of a bug. If you are, then why don't you try that? Why don't you put the word say and then another argument and see if I can get the message back. So remember just the command say with a space and then whatever you would like to say to the group. Hello, Codeplant. Awesome. Fantastic. So Leah says, hello, everyone. Are you guys also getting the multiple messages? If so, somebody say in the in your argument, tell me, are you getting multiple messages? On my side, I'm getting lots and lots of messages. I'll show you what I'm getting. Jeff. Cool. Graham says, Jeff. I'll show you what I'm getting here. I'm getting a whole list of these messages. Is that what you guys are getting too? Eat. Okay, I'm not sure if that's a yes or a no, but if somebody, yes, okay, Ruben says yes. I am, it's lagging on my laptop. Okay, well, it shouldn't really lag. Just let it, what you need to do is just let it close out. You don't have to close them. They'll all close together and we'll fix that. But let's not overuse that save feature because of that bug, but we'll work it out because I'd like us to go on to some other things. Okay, everybody's getting them. But this is the wonder of doing things that we made ourselves. So let's hold on, and maybe we'll even fix this on a future stream. We'll fix this bug together. But let's go back to what we were doing. Everybody's saying yeet. Okay, so let's go back to, I want to show you guys a little bit. So you now already have an idea of how to do a command, and there's a lot of commands that we're going to be able to look at. And there's a lot of, there's a lot of, I don't even know how to say what you said, said there, Braden, but there's a lot of commands we're going to learn. But what I would like us to do, just quickly before we go into the commands, I want to just set a little bit of a story for you guys and why I'm so excited about being able to share this stuff with you. When I was around your guys' age, this is my first computer, and I was 12 years old, and this was a Commodore VIC-20, and I feel it was just as much of a puzzle as it was a toy to play with. Today, in our world, like when you get a computer, you just have to launch the browser and you can watch a video, you can go do pretty much anything that you need to do without a lot of effort. But when I started, that was very different. You had basically everything you got out of it, you had to get from that, you had to put in yourself. And so there were these magazines where you would be able to see these different games. If you see up at the top here, Jump on the Weatherman, or Utility Audit, or Micro Mechanic, you would buy this magazine and then you would type the code yourself into the computer. So if you see up at the top there's a little game screen, player missile graphics, it said, and I remember typing this type of a game, maybe even this exact one, but I had to spend hours just typing it, and some of the code looked like this. And you can just imagine how painstaking it was. And if you got something wrong, you had to start again, and you had to look for the bugs, and it was quite a grueling process. And it was a process that taught me a lot, but I'm so glad that that's not how we learn today. I'm so glad that today we get to learn in much more fun ways. But to give you just a quick taste of what that was like, yeah, exactly, it was a pain. To give you a taste of what that was like, I'm going to go to the exercises tab here, and you'll see you can do this yourself go further, but you can, on the retro programming challenge, you can scroll down a little bit. You don't have to do this now. I'm just going to go there, but I don't want you to come off of this tab, but just can go in another time. But I will type just to show you. So this is an actual emulator that shows the VIC-20 screen. So this is actually the same exact screen that I got on my first computer, and I had to start typing things like, hey, Codeplant, a command, print, and the argument, hey, Codeplant. And then it would do such an exciting thing as, hey, Codeplant. But then it got a little bit more advanced, and we started writing commands that would repeat. Like, if you give it a number like this, hey, I love programming. At the time, I didn't even know what it was, but I was starting to love. And if I say 20, go to 10. Okay, now I have a little bit of logic here. It's saying go back to 10. If I say run, now I've put it into an infinite loop. I've sort of broken it because it will go on forever. And I remember at that time, I would have to unplug my computer and start the whole process over again. But thankfully, I can just close down the browser tab these days. So you could check that out on your own afterwards. That's one of the things in the retro programming challenge. But I want us to focus on commands and arguments one more second here. So commands, as you probably already know, it's the thing that you're demanding that the computer do for you. And that's the thing I loved about computers programming at the beginning, was that The computer will do whatever you say. If you know how to tell it correctly what you want it to do, it will do anything for you. It will do so much work. So I remember feeling very powerful, like this drill sergeant who could sort of, yes, you do this. And the computer never disagreed with me. It never said no unless I got the command wrong. And that's where you have to practice learning what the commands are. And then the second part is the arguments. These are the actual things that you're sending to the computer. So I have a command, but then I have a very specific task that I want it to do. And in our command that we were using earlier, our say command, the argument was our message, the message that we were going to send out. But there's lots of different kinds of commands that we can use for different things. So if I go back here to our, would never have guessed, Braden. I missed Braden's comment there. Okay, so let's go back to our game challenge for a second here. If we see it talked about commands and arguments, maybe we've learned enough to figure this out. To unlock the game, we use the unlock command in the terminal with one argument, and that argument is the password. Okay, so we're going to type one command unlock with an argument which is a password. And the password is the name of the man who invented the first computer. Does anybody know who that was? Anybody on? Oh, okay, Braden says Babbage, but okay, that's interesting. Let's try what Braden says. Unlock. Leah says no. Okay. Unlock, B-A-B-B, and Braden had G-E, which I don't think was how you spell his name. So I'm going to put A-G-E because that's how you spell his name. Oh, yes, Braden's right. And if you guys type that same command, unlock Babbage, like you'll see here, I'll share my screen on the right. If you type in unlock Babbage, you will also unlock the game. After you do, you'll probably see this tab here that you can select. This will grow as we go. I've got a bunch of games I can load up in here to practice different things, but for today we're going to be doing the drone game to practice commands and arguments. And so just for a moment, if you look on the right hand side, let's go back to our terminal on the right hand side. That's what this area where we type commands directly into a computer, that's called a terminal. And all computers have a terminal. You just might not see it. Your laptop has a terminal. Even your phone or tablet would have a terminal. It just isn't always shown. So we're really talking at the computer level in the computer's language here. But if we say commands, I bet we can find some commands that might help us with the drone. So let me use my help command and let me look at these commands for a second. I have one called take off. So let me see what take off will do. It says this command will launch the recycling drone. Okay, let me try it. Take off. Okay, the drone on my side is flying. I don't know if it's flying on your side. If you try that command, take off. This game is basically a game about a neighborhood where they realized that if they take their garbage to the recycling, they can all have a better neighborhood. And so they decided to put their garbage up on the roof. And one very smart guy, he built this drone to go around and pick up the garbage and drop it into the recycling bin. And the way that he controls his drone is by commands and arguments. So you saw the first command, take off. Let me try another command that if I say help, let me try help up. This command will move the drone up. Okay, so I'll try up. And yes, indeed, it goes up. I see my first trash is to my left, so I'm going to do the command left, and he moves over a little bit to the left. At any time, if you want to clear your console, the terminal, you can type the word clear, and it will bring it freshly back there for you. So there he is. If I want to go left a little bit more, oh, when I go over the trash, he automatically picks it up. And if you see here, there's probably a command that I can use to let go of the garbage as well. So let me see. There's drop. That looks right. Drop. So let me hit enter, and I scored 100 points. And I've got a new trash bag to pick up. So this, I hope you're doing this along on your side, and I hope you're able to pick up the trash. I want to show you some, these are basically just commands that we're doing now, but there's also a way to do it with arguments as well. So I'm at the top. Before I get to arguments here in this game, you'll see that this, I can score more points if I go up, right? So if I go up a little bit more, I can score 1,000 points because it's harder to drop it there. So let me see. Yes. So now I have 1,100 points. So I hope you guys are trying this along. And there's a timer too that's keeping track, and this timer will turn orange, and then eventually it will turn red. But let me see if I can figure out some arguments in here as well. So let me do help loop. So this command will move the drone in loops using 2 arguments. First is the direction to move, left, right, up, or down. And then the second is the amount of space to move, which is 1 through 12. So an example of it would be loop left 4. So let me try that. Loop left 4. And if I hit enter, let me see what my drone does. Oh wow, he zooms over to the left. Wow, that's okay. So that's a pretty powerful command if I use that with its arguments. Let me loop down 2 and left and up. Okay, now let me loop up to the top. Let me loop up 4. Let me see how far it'll go up. Oh, he hits the top. And oh, I mistimed it, so I didn't get my points. That's horrible. Loop down 3. Okay, loop right 4. Okay, if you guys are, just let me know if you are playing along. Just say, yes, we are. My time is turning red. Are you guys collecting to tell when these 2 things overlap? So you'll see here in the sprites one, there's towards the bottom, there's this overlaps. And that's a simple little block that, if we read what it says here, it says on sprite of kind player overlaps with other sprite of kind. Let's change that to food. So you can see this is basically just saying exactly what we would think. We want to do some code when our sprites, any sprite of kind player, overlaps with the sprite food. So let's do that. Let's see what we should do there. For now, let's just say when that happens, let's say the game is over and we win, just to make it a quick test. This is an important thing about programming, is that you want to do a little bit at a time so that you can test it. If we went and wrote a code for an hour and then started testing it, we'd be in a lot of trouble if there was a lot of errors. The pizza is bigger than the dragon. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Brayden. So let's just try our game. If we go over, oh, you win just by touching him. That's a very simple game. So we need to add some more logic to our game. I think that one of the things we can do is we can make it, can we also make our own game, and how? Yes, okay. So here's what we can do. We can take a moment and start with the things that I'm using here. If you go to the exercises tab, you'll see the first exercise is build a pizza game. If you click on that, it will take you to the same site that I've been on the right, and you'll see here that there's even, if you scroll down a little bit, this tutorial right here, if you click it, is called Chase the Pizza. And you can actually click on it and it will take you through step by step all of the steps to make the same game that we played earlier. So you were asking earlier, Graham, how do we play the game that I was playing? Well, you can easily play it by just making it yourself. You click here and it will walk you through step by step. I'm going to close this one on the right because I think maybe at this point you guys can click and start on your own. Choose the blocks option, not the JavaScript option, and then we'll just move this. If you choose the blocks option here, you can start to follow it step by step and make your own game. I also want to respect the time. I want to thank you guys for the first stream and just this opportunity to talk through and work out some bugs. I hope that you guys were able to follow along and use the say function now to give me a bit of feedback if you were able to swap over. I think one of the reasons why I didn't want you to maybe leave to another tab is that the stream might stop or something. I'm not sure. I haven't tested that out. But if you're still here, send me something in the say, and I'll tell you guys a little bit about what we'll try to do between now and next week. In the exercises, it won't let me go on and do it. Oh, Ruben, okay. You heading out, Ruben? Thanks for joining. Try the exercises out. Feel free to respond to that email that I sent out if you have any questions during the week, and we will go from there. Let me see if we can see where, Graham, you're struggling, where it won't let you go on. Is it not opening up Make Code Arcade, or when you get there, it's not letting you create a game? Thanks, Ruben. I can't wait to see your game. There's a lot of commands that you guys can try out throughout the week on your own as well. There's a lot of other things here that I didn't go over, and it would be good practice to do that, not letting you create a game. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see. If I go in there, arcade, well, let me do it from here. Do we show our game next week? Yes, please. I would love you to show your game next week. So do you have a button here, Graham, that says new project? That's the one you want. You can start from scratch there, or if you want to scroll down to the tutorials, that should let you do step by step, but until you get to the end, you have to follow their steps. Once you follow their steps, at the end, you can customize it, but if you want to start from scratch, you can start here with new project. Sometimes that's also just as fun, is starting to see on your own how it's working, and then maybe I'll also share the link to, actually I think what we can do is, let me go back. Go back here. What you can do, if I go into this Eat the Pizza, you can actually download an image, and when this exact image I can mail to you guys, and it'll actually allow you to, if you drag this into the Make Code editor, it will give you the same game and the same blocks that we played, and that could be your reference point when you're making your own game. So I'll send that in just after this in an email, and that'll at least let you play around with this particular one. The stream still works, and then you go to another tab. Yes, okay. Thanks, Braden. That's helpful. I didn't know. Okay, so then we might be able to give some people advice next week about what I just did, putting the stream on one side and then the code on the other, and we can work together, because I don't want you guys to just have to listen to me lecture. I'd like us to interact more and more, but we're learning and we're getting better at it as we go. But I'm thankful for the tools holding up as well as they did, and we got to have some experience together, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. I very much enjoyed it, and yeah, this will be available in this history tab shortly for you to rewatch any portion of it. And like I said, email me any questions you have or any things that you get stuck, and we'll get over them. We'll learn them together. Thanks, everyone. Bye, Graham. Thank you, Leah. Thank you.